So, flowing water. I could see if there's a good area for a hydro plant. And I think there probably will be. I'm just not sure how good. .96. Yeah. I can't get it much higher. 208. Yeah, it doesn't seem like I can get a good one. I want the slope to be too steep. That's the whole point. .272. It's not horrible, but it's horrible. Oh, that's actually decent. Even if it does take up a little bit too much space, and it would be extremely costly. 360,000 or... yeah, 360,000. I could get that eventually, but for 544, 560, 576... it would be ridiculous if I could get it higher. But of course, as I do that, water's gonna start backlogging, and if I do it too high, it's gonna flood my city. Unless the gradient of this is much farther down than I'm thinking it is. Although I might want to wait until I get out to like here. In fact, let's go ahead and just commit to buying that. It's not terribly expensive, so I can just go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to just want to buy those tiles around. Or I could, you know, go in a single direction, but I think it'd be better to get across the river. Yeah, for the moment, let's get this one too. And we'll expand like that. And maybe later, if I really get committed to this game, we'll go all the way into getting the mods that allow you to expand to a 25 tile radius. Not radius, but a 25 tile total. 25 tile radius would be insane. Well, outside of the slope being too steep, it's actually pretty damn good. 600. 720. Hot damn. I mean, it's got more than 3 times the upkeep, or is it more than 3 times the upkeep? Okay, it's a little less than 3 times the upkeep of the solar power plant. So all you have to do is make it so that it's more power output than 3 times the solar power plant, and then it's one of the most effective things in the game, pretty much. So 320, 480. So it needs to be over 480 megawatts, or at 480 megawatts. Either one should be fine. But you also need to make sure you're not flooding your city. Because all this water has to rise up to that level. And that's kind of the unfortunate part. Yeah, I don't think there's any way I could do that, because back here, it's... if the flow was reversed, I could do it. But, with the way this flow goes, it's not happening, I don't think. It's a useful thing to entertain, just in case you ever can do it, but I don't think it's quite possible for me. I could build smaller ones in case I need the space, but other than that situation, not going to work very well. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this speeding back up. So, it wants me to build more residential and more industrial. So I'm going to go ahead, do what I have been, Remove that one and that one, and replace them with high density. I almost wonder if these industries operate... it doesn't look like they operate effectively enough to counter pollution, as evidenced by that. I was wondering, because if they did, I'd be more than willing to throw tons of them down for that purpose. Alright, now I think I can actually connect these power grids in a way that I'm not going to have to deal with wanting these power grids to go all the way through my everywhere. I just destroyed like tons of trees. I'm a horrible person. Alright. Now I can throw down those industries. Although, I have to make sure, first and foremost... do I want to connect that? Yeah, fuck it. Make it a lot easier. I want to connect this. It just makes it easier. Rather than creating a whole new district. I mean, more districts means I have more control, but... I pretty much control all of these... wood industry districts the same way. I don't treat them any differently. I wouldn't really want to either. I think this is going to require some finesse, because I don't want that main road to get bogged down, so... Once I got water, it does not. So, glad I thought about that. It should have proper electricity connected, though. Yeah, I know, train station, yada yada. So this is actually getting a good bit of traffic through here. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade this 4-wide stuff here to 6-wide. That should allow traffic capacity to move a lot more quickly. So, I still need even more residential capacity, so it's telling me. Although these residentials, at least on this side of the road, aren't very high up. I would like to increase some of these. So the question is, what's that going to take? They've got good health care, or at least decent health care. They've got fire department coverage, at least minimally. They've got police coverage, at least minimally. What about... Yeah, that's what I thought. Cemetery coverage is pretty far away. Let's go ahead and throw down another cemetery there. That should make them want to increase. Ooh, one thing I definitely forgot was Parks and Recreation. Dang. Yeah, I haven't thrown down, like, anything as far as Parks and Recreation goes. Once I start doing that stuff, that should increase me significantly. It can be fairly expensive at times, but it's well worth it. Yeah, I mean, I see the surrounding areas and I think, oh, you know, there's plenty of nature everywhere. And I forget that this still actually really helps you. Alright. That should be some enough. I'm gonna take that out, make that much more dense. Okay, so that should help to increase the leveling of a lot of my areas. It's not perfect coverage. It's actually pretty far from it, but it'll do something. Maybe one right here as well. Okay. So now we've got that expanded out pretty far. I'm just trying to think if there's any other services that these guys need. Got more than enough water. Could use a little bit more electrical capacity in the short term. 19, 20, 20, 19, 20. There we go. What about... Ooh, my incinerators are getting overworked, looks like. Where do I want to throw down another one? Damn, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I really don't want to increase the pollution of any of these areas. I think that's gonna work out for me. Okay, for the moment, that'll work out. Although it does make this intersection a bit more complex. God, I hate seeing that, though. I mean, it's necessary, but I hate seeing it, regardless of the fact. Yeah, I gotta empty both of these, actually. I need to really just get rid of them. That's how it works at the end. Okay. See, now traffic is a problem. That level of traffic is a problem, for sure. Let's go ahead, make a 6-way connection over to here. Just to see if that will help alleviate some of the traffic. Maybe it'll go down through here. I'm hoping some of it will go down through there. I'm going to increase the capacity for these roads so that maybe people can get through a little bit faster. I just noticed something, actually. This area has 2 of these intersections right next to this big intersection that's getting all sorts of blockaded. And you can see this has a bit of blockage, but not as bad. And it's got these 2 non-filled in intersections. So it might be better if I were to take one of these out and place it on that side instead. Heavily considering it. Although I'd have to do it for both of them. So I'd have to also move it down here. That doesn't look none too good. Yeah, this main interchange is pretty bad. A lot of these guys still don't have enough workers. A lot of them also have overeducated workers. Noticed I have that issue. I don't have enough residential desire, and so I simply just don't get enough workers. It's kind of weird. Alright, I'll go ahead and mark that for offices. See if that works out. Definitely don't want to be downgrading my roads. Thank you very much. There we go. It's the 4th tile. And go ahead and expand this out here. Maybe even fucking get this going over here. I don't know. Thinking about it. It'd be a bit ridiculous, but... Okay, so now, just looking at this is the part where I'm really starting to consider throwing down some public transport. Usually I want to wait off on that because public transport is all sorts of expensive.